How did that make you feel? The screeching tires, glass shattering, someone's life ending. A result of drinking and driving, one of the main causes of death worldwide today. Just in Canada, 30% of deaths are caused by drinking and driving,
adding up to approximately 16,000 deaths in alcohol-related crashes.
Not only does it put drunk drivers in danger, it puts everyone else in danger as well. Here are some images of crashes caused by drunk driving.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I open my eyes, I try to see, but I'm blinded by the white line. I can't remember how, I can't remember why I'm lying here tonight, and I can't stand the pain, and I can't make it go away.
Please drive safer and more in control for the safety of other drivers, and do not drink and drive.
You may not realize it, but it doesn't just affect the people in the accident, it affects their families too.
Here are some stories of people who have been impacted by drunk driving.
Can you tell us about your job?
Okay, as you said, my name is Sean Trudeau. I work with the Ontario Provincial Police. I've worked at the Central Hastings Detachment for over 13 years. For 13 years I've been a breath testing officer, and I have done over 100 tests for people who have been arrested for impaired driving.
Okay, why do you think people make the decision to drink and drive?
I don't think people initially set out intentionally trying to break the law. I think that they justify it to themselves by maybe only having one drink once, or saying that they don't have very far to go, or that they feel fine. And I think that over time, when they realize that they had one drink and they drove, and maybe they didn't see a police officer or went through a ride program, that they get braver and bolder, and then the next time they have 2 drinks and 3 drinks, and until they eventually get arrested, or unfortunately they have an alcohol-related crash, and in some cases injure or kill somebody.
Okay, and the last question is, what is the hardest part about drinking and driving cases?
Well, I think of all the things that I investigate on a daily basis: robberies, the assaults, the car accidents, the fights. And I think the drinking and driving cases are the hardest ones because it's so unnecessary. When I'm approaching a house and I know that I'm going to tell the family members inside that house that one of their loved ones has been killed in a drinking and driving accident, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I think if most people would realize and understand what I'm going through when I approach that house, bearing the worst possible news that family is going to probably hear, and if you see the reaction of the family members when I tell them that news, no one would ever drink and drive. It's the worst thing I have to do.
Please state your name.
Angela Wilson.
How has drunk driving impacted your life?
I lost my only sister from a drunk driver in a car accident.
How did drunk driving affect your family?
Well, I lost my only sister. My parents lost their daughter. I never get to see her again, and every day that goes by, I wish I could speak with her.
Was there a way this could have been prevented?
Yes, if he had a thought of the consequences of drinking and driving before he got behind the wheel.
What advice would you give to help prevent drunk driving in the future?
I think it'd be very smart to continue to educate the young, make them become aware of the disability to drive and the impact of drinking has on driving. And also, you think it would never happen to your family, you think this would never happen. I thought it myself, and then all of a sudden in the blink of an eye it happened and my sister was gone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have you ever experienced a tragedy with drinking and driving?
A close friend of mine passed away in an ATV accident under the influence, also injuring a passenger.
What was the most difficult part you had to deal with?
Arriving at the scene, where I seen him just laying there with no movement.
What is it like to witness the death of a friend?
It is extremely hard when you come upon him and you have to check his pulse to see whether or not he is still alive, and whether he's still breathing and yelling his name and not getting a response.
What advice would you give people about drinking and driving?
Don't end up in a situation like mine. Look out for each other.
What kind of person was your son?
My son was a very loving, caring person. He was a good father, a good friend, a great neighbor, a wonderful brother, and a beautiful son.
How has your life changed since the death of your son?
My life has changed. I now have my beautiful granddaughter living with me, who I've had a special bond with from the day she was born. And this has made the loss not quite as hard.
What was the hardest part about losing your son?
The hardest part was to go on and to live each day without him.
This was my dad, Joseph Wood, before he was killed in a drunk driving accident. Please, the next time you think about getting into a vehicle drunk, think about his story.
Memories seep through my veins and may be empty or weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight in the arms of the angel. Fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel.
Once I miss you. Yeah, I miss you. So far away from where you are. I'm standing underneath the stars, and I wish you were here. I miss the years that were erased. I miss the way the sunshine would light up your face. I miss all the little